Hey everybody, it's me, Melody. Welcome to my stream. Make sure you make sure you like, subscribe, and share on your way in. So today I have a special guest. I have Obsidian. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share on your way in. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, I have a special guest today. I have Obsidian. Hi, Obsidian.
Hey,
Hey, how are you today?
doing great. How you feeling?
I'm doing all right.
That's good.
So, yeah, so I have some questions I want to ask you.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into it. So basically, I've been hearing things about a prom story, and I want to know more about that. Can you tell me?
yeah. It was pretty straightforward. Happens all the time. Boy meets wasn't boy meets girl, but boy sees a whole lot of hot girls and asks him to go out to the prom. They shoot him down, and he says, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and sit it out." And mom and sisters want to step in and try to set him up with a string of dates, all of whom he doesn't find attractive, and it pretty much goes from there.
Right. So, what do you feel that other black men can learn from that story?
Don't help your sons.
What do you mean? Like, can you be more specific?
Yeah, exactly. Don't help your sons. Don't try to help them. If you can make a case that if they specifically ask for help or something like that. But I find that a lot of black women tend to kind of like just offer unsolicited advice and help, and more often than not, it's worse than the situation that you're in. So it's just better
Right.
just stay out of it. A lot of black women are busybodies. They don't have anything else to do with themselves.
Agreed. I do agree with that. So, I'm sorry. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, my audio was really bad. I'm sorry about that.
yeah.
So basically did they think they were helping or do you think they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
just
A
having
lot of a lot of
fun?
black women think that they're helping, and a lot of times they're really not helping.
Hmm.
They're doing anything but helping.
Right, they're making the
They're making
situation
matters
worse.
a lot worse.
Exactly. I do agree with that. You see it every day with black women. I don't know why they do that, but that's just something they do.
Well, like I
So
said, a lot of black women don't have anything. They need some activities. And
exactly.
one thing they can do is get out on the track and run a lot. They can do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. The gym's something. So, well, what made you interested in exposing black female fuckery, as you say?
Pardon?
What made you interested in exposing black female fuckery, as you would say?
Yeah. I just got tired of the. I came up along at a time when Oprah Winfrey was really ascendant and it had become like a really like a household name. And then there
Hmm.
were other people that were kind of doing the same thing. Excuse me, kind of doing the same thing, and it pretty much developed into a not so cottage industry of people either hosting black women on various talk shows, but
Hmm.
also talking about their plight in academia and other forms of media and entertainment. And I just got
Right.
tired of the one sidedness of the debate. I just got tired of it. So uh, events conspired such that I had a lot of free time on my hands,
Right.
and I decided to do something about it.
Exactly. Well, I think you're doing the right thing because they need to be
Thank you,
exposed. You're
thank you,
welcome. I love your content. They definitely need to be exposed for what they're doing. So,
thank you.
appreciate that. So, let's see. Do you think black men should just abandon the community altogether?
That's an interesting question because I think the black community has, in a lot of ways, abandoned black men. At least the black
Hmm.
men that I'm talking about. I think black women, in many ways, not all, but a sizable percentage, they've kind of left the black community in the sense that they have their own ideas, about how to order life, how to order family life, how to order community life,
Right.
and so on. And those ideas tend to be at odds with a lot of black men, how they want to order, family life, communal life. So a lot of black women, because they're free and they have the ability to do so, they've kind of, struck out and, formed their own, families, formed their
Mhm.
own communities. And I think in a sense, black men have been kind of stuck, in a sense, in the past. And I think it's time for black men, finally look forward into the future, and that may or may not include black women by their side.
Right, exactly. I did notice that. I've seen a couple of videos where black women claim they're helping everybody, but they're only helping the black girls. Have you ever seen that? Like they
Yep.
never help the black boys. They always focus on the women and black girl magic and help the little black girls, never the black boys. So I do agree with you on that.
Yes, yes, I've seen it, and interesting. I'll just leave it at that. It's quite interesting to witness, but I have, yeah, I have seen it.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, I mean, what's the biggest problem you think black women have?
Well, see, the question, see, my thinking is black women have the right to order their lives the way they see fit.
Hmm.
So in that sense, I don't think they're doing anything wrong. But if it's in the sense of getting along with black men, then they're doing a lot of things wrong. Um, I mean, where do I start? I mean, not refusing to cooperate, being insubordinate, not wanting to lose weight, not wanting to be attractive for black men, particularly the more rank and file. Um, I mean, we can just go on down the line with it. But I mean, if we have to just sum it all up, is that black women don't want to get on board, and they have their own agendas. And again, from an American standpoint, you can't be against that because everybody has a right to their own life agenda. From the standpoint of getting along with black men, forming families and communities and so on and so forth, it's a major problem.
Definitely. I agree with that. So, let me ask you a personal question. If you say black men should not invest in a community, are you SYSBM?
I support it. I support SYSBM. I think black men have just as much a right as anybody else to associate with whomever they want. So if that's something that if a black man finds himself going in that direction, I support it.
Right, exactly. I support it as well. Go where you're celebrated and appreciated.
Yeah,
Definitely live by that.
yeah.
So, let me get my next question. Sorry about that. Give me a second. I should have. Oh, the other day on your show, you pulled up Alabama State honeybees.
Oh yeah, you saw that, huh?
I saw that and I loved it. That was great. That was a great show, great
Yeah, that was
content.
insane.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
The only
So
thing worse than that was the Hooters thing.
I
That
saw
was
that too.
oh
It was
jeez.
disgusting.
Oh my god.
Hooters used to have only women with nice bodies, big breasts, and big butt. You never saw a fat girl in Hooters.
Well, to be fair, the what happened was that um that was a stunt. That was a publicity stunt.
Right.
It was not officially sanctioned by Hooters.
Mm,
It was a bunch of ladies who got Hooters outfits and posed in front of Hooters to make the case that they should be hired and it shouldn't be discriminating against plus size women and all the rest of it.
oh,
My position is if Hooters does that, they'll meet the same fate as Gillette.
facts. Exactly. I did hear somebody saying that Hooters are they fat shame. Like they don't want any fat women and that's discrimination. I did hear that
Well,
before.
it is discrimination. That's true. It is discrimination. They are protecting their business investment. They understand that their market doesn't want to see that. They're not going to want to pay money for that. So they are discriminating against that. Just like the NBA discriminates against guys who are short. They want
Hmm.
guys that are tall. Just like the NFL discriminates against guys who are pencil neck geeks. They don't want pencil neck geeks. They want big burly guys. and so on and so on and so on. I mean, Harvard discriminates. They don't want dunces. So I mean, yeah, it is a form of discrimination, and for good reason, because their business wouldn't be a business if they didn't do that.
You got a point. So why do you think they're trying to make fat black women the standard?
Um, when you say they, I mean, I take it you mean corporate America. Well, who you talking about?
Corporate America, the honeybees, everybody. Like, why are they trying to make it the standard?
Because they're being intimidated. They're being arm twisted. They're being strong armed. They're being jawboned. They're being mouthed. They're being worked over like the refs. And this situation is kind of glommed on to the zeitgeist. And there's also a financial component too. You got to remember a lot of not just black women, to be fair, but a lot of American women are really big. Black women
Hmm.
are the biggest of all. So there's some money to be made in this. So I think it's a combination of being intimidated as well as trying to make money.
Exactly. I think so too, and it's sad. It really is because it's leading these women to think that being unhealthy is okay, and it's not. These women are dying at high rates. They're having heart attacks and everything. So it's not cool. I don't
No,
think
it's
so.
not. No, it's not.
Yeah, exactly. So I hear that you did an experiment with a dating app yourself. What did you?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm looking to get back into it. I was playing around with Tinder, and I had some really interesting results.
Right. So what did you learn from that experiment?
Well, the whole point of the experiment was to test out the theory that if you're a non-select guy, if you're a guy that's not a jawline, Chad or Tyrone or whatever, that the dating apps would be pretty much no man's land for you. And I haven't found that to be the case.
Right.
You can get action on there, and you don't have to be 6 foot tall, super buff, all that sort of thing. That you just don't. And
I
and,
agree.
and I tried that out with Tinder. I'm considering taking it over to Bumble to see what happens over there next. So
Yeah, well, you're, in my opinion, in my eyes, you're a very handsome man. So a lot of times, height don't matter to women. I think that's a myth.
well, thank you for the very nice compliment. And secondarily, my personal observation has been that black women do care a lot about it. Now, who they actually wind up with is another thing, but it's clear that they have a preference for, guys well over 6 foot.
Yeah,
That's
that's black women, but I know
right.
that other races of women, they really don't care.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you're right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, black women are very picky when they're fat and out of shape themselves.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah. A lot of black women are, and the thing, yeah, like you said, the thing about it that cracks me up about it is that oftentimes these same black women don't want to deal with guys that are just like themselves. So, we get hit in the head with this idea that we're supposed to stay in our lane, except when it comes to black women reserve the right to, to not stay in their lane. And nobody really calls them on that. That's another reason why I do what I do, because nobody really calls them on it, and I make it a point of calling him out, or calling them out for it.
Yeah, definitely. You
Yeah.
have to call them out. It's crazy. And that's the thing. Why do you think people are so scared to call out black women?
I think because a lot of people are intimidated. They don't want to be called racist. They don't want to be called sexist. Um, and black women, as a group, can be pretty brutal. Especially online. Um, they can be pretty mean. They can be pretty. They can be bullying. You know, and
Yeah,
I've experienced this firsthand. They tried to run me off the air about 4 years ago, and it failed. They've since tried to run off Kevin Samuels. That failed. They tried to run off the other brothers in the black manosphere. That some they were successful with, others not so much. So yeah, I think that's the reason why.
yeah, they're bullies. They have nasty attitudes and everything. So I guess that's why you're right about that. So, has the black community ever done anything for you?
Um, I would say the black community has done something for me. If by community is meant my family, yeah, my family has done something for me. The men in my family in particular, they've done something for me. But as far as like the black community at large, no.
No, yeah. So black women have never done anything for you. Nobody, except for
Well,
the black men.
what I would say insofar as black women are concerned, um, romantically, there have been some who do, but
Right,
the idea of the black community as it's commonly promoted is something that I don't identify with and I don't agree with. So
right, exactly. Well, do you believe that black culture creates more manipulative black women than other cultures?
that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if they do or if they don't. That's a good question. I never thought about that.
I
Do they
think
create
so.
more? Do they create more manipulative women? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm reluctant to give a definitive answer because I've never thought about it before now, and I've never studied it. So, but that's an interesting question. I'll look into.
I appreciate that. Yeah, let me know when you look into it because I would love to know your opinion on that.
Yeah, yeah,
So, you mentioned before that black women choose, I think you said cats over dads.
yeah. I've been talking about that for quite some time, and
Yeah.
that's a conversation that continues to still stick around. And a lot of black women, what they want is they essentially want to do the reverse, or not the reverse, but they essentially want to do the same thing that um, some black men do with black women. That is to say, to try to make a hoe into a housewife. A
Hmm.
lot of black women want to try to make a cat into a dad, and it just doesn't work. And
Mm,
they get caught up with these guys, have babies with them, and then try to um, kind of jawbone them into being dads, and it never works.
right. Yeah, because I heard you say that on one of your other streams.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I play a clip of it?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
And we also know, ladies and gentlemen, that black women, they prize economic standing and educational attainment in that order to a much higher degree than white or otherwise non-black women do. Let me read to you, ladies and gentlemen. You can look this up online. The Scholars Strategy Network.
You there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, what did you mean by that clip that I just played just now? Does that have anything to do with the cats over dads?
I don't think so because that's something that can be seen across the socioeconomic spectrum with black women. So, in other words, you can see that among the college educated and the non-college educated. I don't think it's something that is unique to the non-college educated. It's something that you can see too as well among the college educated. So I don't think so.
Right. So, which one do you prefer, cats or economic success? Are they different?
Well, a lot of black women, what they'll do is since they figure that they can take care of themselves, they can focus on more desirable traits in a man first. I call them sexy traits, and they figure that they can kind of manage everything else on their own. Problem with that is those guys tend to be very expensive. And I talked about this in my book. They tend to be very expensive, and a lot of black women can't afford them, and they get in a lot of trouble, economically. The other problem is that the black community has pretty much gone backward in terms of its It's focused. It was, the black marital rate has really taken a dive, and the problem is that we place a big focus and emphasis on short-term mating. So
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of women who want long-term relationships, what a lot of black women do is they enter into something that's short-term, and then they try to reverse engineer it into something long-term. And the problem with it, one of the many problems with it, is that the guys they're trying to do it with are not suited for long-term mating. They're optimized for short-term mating.
Right. That makes sense. So, what do you think they want more, CADs or the bag and support?
Well, I would say based on their actions, definitely the CAD category.
Right.
I mean, you look at the vast majority of kids now born in Black America. They're born by a small group of black men, sired, I should say, by a small group of black men. 20% or less.
Right. That makes sense. I love how you just broke that down. That's awesome.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So, all right, I'm gonna go to the next question. Do average at best black men deserve the same respect from black women that average at best Latino men get from Latina women?
I don't see why not. I mean, I know that they don't, but I don't see why not. But black women again, because black women are propped up by the welfare state, so they in a very real sense they don't need average at best guys, so to speak, and you know they move on their own recognizance, so to speak. And but do they deserve it? Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna play one more clip for you. I have another clip because
Okay.
I did a little research.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play the clip now.
Yeah, Guadalupe may treat him like that. I'm your Lourdes or what have. Okay, I hear that. But you ain't Mexican, man. And the lovely ladies of the community certainly ain't Mexican. You hear the brothers do that. Well, what about Chang? Chang come over here, fresh off the boat from China. He come over here, he work at the Chinese takeout, and he works from sun up to sundown. And he get off there, and May May is right there, willing to attend to him. He ain't got to do all that. Yeah, true. But my man, you ain't Chang, and the lovely ladies of the community certainly ain't May May. That's for sure. But then the brother said, well, what about the Afghan guy, Muhammad? He comes over here from Afghanistan. He comes over here and he sells carpets, and he sells prayer rugs, and he sells prayer beads, and he sells Qurans on the corner. And then he go back home, and Alma is right there, ready to kneel before him. He ain't got to do all that. Why we got to do it? Yeah, that's true. Muhammad trying to get away from the Taliban. He came over here on the American airlift. I get that. That's true. But my man, you ain't Muhammad from Afghanistan, and the lovely ladies of the community certainly ain't out. So I can't. See, my point is that the brothers, see, they want what men of other societies want, but what they're leaving out is that they're coming from completely different cultures. And they're like, why can't the black women act like these women are overcome? Because they're black women, that's why.
Yeah. So what do you have to say about that clip?
Yeah, I understand where a lot of brothers are coming from. And as a matter of fact, I actually sympathize with them. But what I'm trying to do, and what you heard in that clip, is to
Mhm.
try to impress upon them: look, this is where we are. Um, Black women have no real. There's no real lever to get black women to play ball in that sense. It would be nice if they did, but there's no real lever to make them do that. And as far as they're concerned, they don't have to do that. And so asking them to do what the Mexican woman and the Afghan woman and the white woman and the Jewish woman and the Asian woman does and the Hispanic woman does is kind of wishful thinking because black women have their own take on who they will and will not respect. And as far as I'm concerned, there are very few black men, black women respect. Very few. Um, and that's regardless of matter of fact, I would say the more accomplished you are, the less likely you are to get respect from black women, to tell you the truth. But yeah. And I was just trying to tell the fellas, it would be nice if they did that, but the reality is they don't.
Right, good point. I like how you broke that down. Yeah, because just go where you're appreciated, like we said before.
Yeah.
Because black women are not, they just don't act right. Can you hear me? Because there's something wrong with my audio.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Okay. So there's a she's having some trouble here. She's got some trouble here. But
I'm
anyway.
sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let me just get my notes up here. Checking my notes real quick. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So, do you think do you think it's in some black men's interest to leave black women for women of other cultures, of different cultures?
Very hard question to answer because that's something that comes down to the individual level. I would say that that's for each individual man to decide for himself. But what I can say is that there are a happy couple, but they're very. I mean, right now the black marital rate is around just under 30%, and
Mm-hmm.
as the baby boomers age and die off, and as the Gen Xers move through solid middle age, we're looking at Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Z. My guess is that the black marital rate will fall an additional 10 points or so. I'm hoping that it'll hold at around 20, but we'll see.
Right, yeah, because I see a lot of interracial couples around, and I
Yeah,
know that the statistics don't really say that black men are marrying out, but you do see it. Like, let's
yeah.
be honest. Do you see it a lot?
I don't see a whole lot of interracial couples where I am in Philly. I do
Yeah, I
know
guess,
they exist. I do know they exist, but I don't see a whole lot of them. No.
right. I guess it's where you're at because here in Jersey you see that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's because black women aren't doing what they're supposed to do, so they can't get mad that black men want to leave them.
Do you see many do you see many um couples featuring black women? Do you see many of those?
Oh yeah. You mean black women with white men?
Right. Or otherwise non-black men. Yeah.
I see it all the time. And honestly, I don't think they're doing it because they want to. I mean, because because they want to. I think they're doing it to throw it in black men's face because
Right.
they feel like black men are dating out. So they're like, well, look, I can do it too.
Right.
That's what
Huh.
I think.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Whereas black men, they date out to just really find love because if they go to a black woman, they would, but they can't.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So, how about you? Do you see it a lot in Philly?
I don't see much of that at all in Philly. Yeah, every so often I'll see an interracial couple either way. And but it's not very, very common. And I'm in the area of town where, it's very cosmopolitan. And even here you don't see it very often. So
Right. Exactly. I mean, but here in Jersey, it's everywhere.
yeah.
Now, do you believe that SYSBM should stop speaking on black women if they already left the community?
I don't see why not. Black women who are swirlers don't have any qualms about speaking on the issues of the day in Black America. I don't see why not.
Right, because I did hear you ask Courtney Michelle. I was watching that show and I heard you. I think you asked her something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I asked because I thought it was very interesting
Yep.
that you would ask that.
Yep.
Now, how do you feel about people in the chat calling you a flip flopper? Sorry, I had to ask you that.
What about flip flop on?
They're saying 1 minute you're talking, like you'll say something and then you'll turn it around and say, pretend like you didn't say it, and you'll have a whole different perspective on it.
Well, it'll be good if they could actually give me a specific instance. You know, otherwise I've been fairly consistent across the past 6 years I've been on the air. Um,
Right.
so they can give me a specific instance of what I mean by that. Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I hear it a lot, but I don't be on that. I haven't been on that long. I've
Yeah.
only been in the space for like a year and a half, so I don't see it. But I thought I would ask
The
you.
other thing too, is you have to ask who's saying it. Are these just nameless, faceless people in the peanut gallery, or are these other, peers of mine?
No, it's just people in the manosphere that I hear saying that. It's not really peers, but it's other people I hear. They're saying that you flip flop.
And
Like,
if it's peers, then I mean, if it's somebody that's not a peer, I don't really care that much. To tell you the truth.
right, exactly. So I guess like when you did the interview with Courtney Michelle, they were saying that everything you spoke about in the beginning of your YouTube career, you just went back on just to impress Courtney.
Well, um, that can be further from the truth. And again, I really don't have much interest in spending much time, dealing with comments from people that aren't bothered enough to make the same kind of investment that I have in this business. Now, all my peers don't have any problems with what I say.
Right,
So,
exactly. Okay, well, in your interview with Courtney Michelle, I heard you say women and men of other cultures should not speak on black issues. Why shouldn't they be allowed to speak on such issues?
well, I mean, my question becomes why? I mean, what vested interest do they have in doing so? Like that's like me, going out of my way to speak on the inner workings of Jewish mating life. Why? For example, you can swap it out for Arab, Hispanic, whatever. I mean, unless I got some vested interest in it, why am I concerned?
Right, exactly. I do agree with that. I feel like people should be free to speak on what they want, in my opinion.
Right,
But yeah, but unless you're like, if they feel like, if they really feel like that, then okay. But if they're just coming on to be nasty and mean and say whatever they want, then that's a different story. But if they really feel like, black people need to change, I don't see why not. Like
right.
people have a problem with like Amira being in the space and Jessica X being in the space, but I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I'm at with it.
Right. So should I heard you say brothers from another mother?
Right.
So should they be allowed to speak on black male issues?
Well, again, what is like? For example, I was in the white manosphere for quite a few years,
Hmm.
and I left it because I felt that I could do much better job, you know, forming what will become the black manosphere than
Right.
staying in the white one trying to advocate for black issues. So if I'm doing something like that, why would these white guys want to come over into the black manosphere? I don't understand that.
I'm sorry. You said it again because I couldn't really hear you.
If I'm willing to leave the white manosphere to go and found the black one, co-found it, I don't understand why these people would come over to the black manosphere from the white manosphere and talk on black issues. I mean, why?
That's true. I don't think they. I mean, you're right about that. They do have their own manosphere, but aren't there black men in the other manosphere as well?
Not many black men from by my experience, not many. There have been a few, but not many.
Right. Well, that makes sense. I mean, I'm not sure, but like Jessica X, for instance, let's use her. for instance, do you think it's okay if she speaks on American issues?
Jessica X.
Yes.
I haven't really heard her speak on a lot of specific American issues per se. She's spoken on particular personalities, but as far as actual black issues in the United States, I haven't really heard her do that.
Yeah, no, like to me, Jessica X just speaks on black issues in general. But a lot of people still have problems because she's from overseas. So a lot of people still have problems with that. But I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
So Game Changer has a question. He says, as a bachelor, what is your interest in the marriage conversation?
I'm a black American.
Okay, good answer.
And I have an interest in black American issues, and the marital situation is one of them. Mating is not just a personal endeavor. Mating is a public and social endeavor as well, which is something I'm
Okay,
going to be talking about later on tonight. Mating is not just a personal endeavor. It's a social and public concern as well. So and that's something that we haven't really dealt with.
right, exactly. Well, as the voice of the everyday brother, what should they do to gain respect from the everyday sister?
I don't know if there's anything that you can do to gain respect from the everyday sister. What I would say is that it would be best for black men to focus on doing their part. And by that I mean that you got everything straight in your life. You're a contributing member to society. You're not causing problems for black women or anybody else. You got your act together, and like I said, you're a contributing member to society. That's in my opinion, that's doing your part. After that, it's up to black women after that.
Exactly. So Game Changer says, could non-blacks say they are American?
They can, but they couldn't say they're black American. I said I'm a black American.
Right.
And by the way, I see Auntie Wanda saying, and why don't he get married? Because I don't want to marry big styles like you. That's why.
Right, exactly.
I ain't putting a ring on a big Sal. I'm not doing it.
Okay, so do you mind if I open up the panel for a little while?
Sure, we got about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna drop the link. Okay, so the link is out there. If anybody want to come up, hit the link.
And I see Jerome is there, and he's been acting the fool in the chat room. And he says, "No woman wants you, Obsidian. Stop the cat." Well, we do know one woman that doesn't want me, and that's you.
Right.
We do know
So
one woman that doesn't want me, and that's you, Jerome.
don't pay no mind to Jerome. He's a troll. He plays a lot.
Yeah.
So since you've been back from your hiatus, how has the space changed? Has it changed a
Not a
lot?
lot. Not a lot. I thought that it would, but not a lot. Not a lot.
Right.
Mm-mm.
So we have the village arsonist. Hi.
Hey,
Yeah.
Melanie, thanks for having me. What's up, Obsidian, man? It's not my first time talking to him. Real quick, as a fellow conservative, and there are certain things we don't agree on, of course. I mean, not going to agree 100% with anybody, but I am a conservative. What's your view on what just happened in Virginia, man? Are you excited? Do you think black people are finally coming around? Was this a fluke? What are we thinking here? Is this an opportunity
Uh,
for black conservatives or what?
I have no idea. I know what happened, but I don't know what it means for the larger electorate in Black America. Black women still vote for the Democrat Party well over 90%. There's only four, excuse me, as I understand it, there's only 4% of black women who are Republicans. So I don't know if the lieutenant governor will sway things in that regard or not. I'm thinking she probably won't, but we'll see. As for the election itself, hardly surprising. Presidents tend to, lose state houses and seats in the House and Senate during their time in office. They don't tend to pick them up; they tend to lose them. So nothing really out of the ordinary there. Virginia has been historically a red state that had trended blue in more recent years, and it's gone back to its roots, so to speak. So we'll see.
So you don't see this as the start of black people possibly abandoning the Democratic Party? You think this is
No,
just a one-time fluke or something?
black women ain't going nowhere. They're very much in in lockstep with the Democrat, and for good reason. I mean, the Democrat Party at least pays lip service, if not really looks out for their interests. And I
How?
can't be
How?
mad at them.
How do the Democrats?
Because the Democrat Party is the party of the welfare state, and black women really like that big daddy government. They really like it.
Okay, but I mean,
They can replace their man with the government, and they have.
I'm sure that you would based on the Moynihan report that you just made a community post on. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think this welfare state benefits black women in the long run. So I can understand how maybe they would perceive it as a benefit in the short run, but in the long run, it's not benefiting them at all.
When have you ever known a black woman to consider the long range implications of anything?
I concede your point. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say. Thank you, brother.
What's going on, Melody?
Hi, I'm gonna let you up, but please be respectful. That's all I ask. If you
Hey,
want
Melody, you already know I'm gonna be respectful, but
thank
I
you.
just came up for a second. I just wanted to say, when Obsidian was in the hospital, he was going away for a while. It was bad. I actually thought it was bad for the space that he was dealing with that illness. Whatever you was going through, Obsidian.
Yeah.
You definitely was in my prayers.
Thank you.
And I know I was talking shit in the chat, but I just wanted you to know that I actually was hoping you died.
Why you say that?
I just wanted you to die. I feel like wait, Melody, can I say this?
No, but
I just want to say this, Melody. I feel like the black community would be better without you.
okay.
How so?
I think
let him go. How so? How would it be better without?
I think you're terrible. You talk hate speech against black women.
What have I said that's hateful?
To be honest, I was hoping you never returned. You died, and I wish you.
Well, let me ask you a question.
A painful death.
Well, let me ask you a question.
What
have I said that has been so hateful that you're up here brown nosing? Hang on. That you're up here brown nosing black women. You're not going to get laid by. Why? What is it that I've said that is so bad?
Black women love me.
If they did, you wouldn't be here right now. You'd be getting some love right now.
I'm here showing Melody love. I'm not here for you. I'm here.
No. If they loved you so much, you wouldn't be here right now. You'd be getting their mouth on right now.
Me.
There would be black women right now. You'd be with a black woman right now getting some action.
They want you to die. Obsidian, you should have died on your deathbed. You should have died, man.
So I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you, what exactly have I said that's so bad that you think is so hateful?
You said some shit about black women dying with a puddle of blood. They need to die or some shit.
Oh, you mean 4 years ago,
nigga?
Oh, you mean 4 years ago?
But did you say it?
Oh, I absolutely said it. Let me double down.
Okay, nigga, you need to die as well.
When they choose knuckleheads like you and they get caught up and they bought that. They bought
that, nigga.
When they get stomped out by knuckleheads like you, they bought that.
I hope you die, nigga.
Not anytime soon.
Next time you get sick, nigga, I hope it's a painful death, you bitch ass nigga.
Not anytime soon.
Okay.
Bitch ass nigga.
All right.
Look at him go. Look at him go.
I'm so sorry, Obsidian. I asked you if you want him to come out.
Do not want war. Apes! Do not want war. So, I mean, my thinking is this, ladies, if this is going to be your protector, Go for it. Knock yourself out.
You have the best sound effects, Obsidian.
And when he stops your ass out, just remember that as you lie face down in the pool of your own blood.
Yeah, but hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I
No,
asked you.
there's nothing to apologize. He showed himself for who he truly is. He's a primate of the force of the first order. And you know, there are a lot of black women that like primates, especially when they're brown nosing up their behind. He likes to, you know, sniff, scratch and sniff behind these so and so's. Well, let him go right on ahead and scratch and sniff.
Right.
Now, what was his name?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Oh, hang on. What was his name?
Who, Jerome?
Oh, that was Jerome.
Yes.
Oh, Jerome himself, Mr. Scratch and Sniff himself.
Can you hear me? Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Obsidian. My sound is terrible. Do you feel like Jerome is being misled by black women?
I don't think it's impossible to mislead Jerome. I don't know if he's got an IQ that's high enough.
Yeah, I mean, Jerome never did anything to me, but yeah, he needs to chill out. Can't come on people's panels disrespecting the guest.
Well, I mean, what else do you expect when, you know, you got a guy that's breathing through his mouth and knuckles dragging on the floor, right?
Right. So thanks for the super chat, Sun is hot raw. He says, Melody, good interview, but please don't bring that spiteful, crazy nigga back up there. He does this everywhere he goes. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had another super chat. Oh, and GC was trying to come up.
Okay.
He hit me up in the back chat. I think he has something to say.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get him up now. Just give me 1 second.
And you're doing that. I'm ordering up a nice falafel sandwich. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me try to get him up. Hold on 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. His audio isn't connecting. But
Oh.
before we go, yes, I'm sorry. His audio isn't connecting. He's trying to get up.
Oh.
But do you think um, people are using sex to get women to attack you?
Are they using who?
I'm sorry, to get men to attack you.
Do I think women are getting men to attack me?
Right. I think they're using sex to get men to attack you.
I thought that was true early on, but I don't think it's true anymore.
Right, because it seems like a lot of men do come for you, and I just
Well, you know, are we really calling Jerome a man? He's more like a chimpanzee.
right.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why I played this.
Apes do not want war.
Yeah.
So you say that women aren't giving him sex. What made you mention that?
Women aren't giving who sex?
Aren't giving like men like Jerome sex. What made you mention that?
I think they're giving their behind for him to brown nose and sniff and kiss. I think that's you know.
Right.
They're probably sitting on his face, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so it seems like they are using sex then.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Quite a bit.
Right.
Scratch and sniff, 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 sniff.
Right. Well, thank you so much for this interview.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a heck of a time. I'm going to grab me some dinner, and then I'm going to jump
Mhm.
on live on the air. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's been a blast. Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.